What is up? What it do, man? I want to welcome each and every one of you all to the Homegrown Kicks channel. I don't know what to call this session that we're having. I guess like early morning conversations. I don't freaking know, but we are here and we are live. I just got the notification saying that we went live on Twitch as well. So we are currently live on Twitch. I don't know how things are going to go on Twitch. You know, sometimes people come in and they say crazy stuff. Sometimes people watch, sometimes they don't watch. For my Twitch viewers, this is more so like podcasting. I'm not doing any IRL. That IRL shit is for the birds, if you ask me. A lot of it seems to be fake and whatever, what have you, but that's not what we're here to talk about. I am live on YouTube. I am live on Twitch. I'm trying to go live and be able to go live on TikTok. So I'm working on that. I think I just recently gained the access to go live on TikTok, and that's all thanks to you all. So we're going to be reaching an even bigger audience. I'm trying to go live on Facebook, but I can't go live on Facebook until I get to 100 followers. I've got to have at least 100 followers on Facebook in order to go live. So if you all have Facebook, my old heads, my YNs, head over to Facebook, Homegrown Kicks, get me to at least 100. I know with as many subscribers as we have on this channel, I can get to 100 followers on Facebook. So we're going to be talking about the Nike Mind Slides. Is it really worth the hype, or is it just all mind games? You know how Nike is and Jordan Brand is about their products and making up really good stories to make their stuff seem better than what it is. And then sometimes I use that word sparingly. It is actually, well, I'm not going to say sometimes. A lot of times it's actually doing what it says it does. So yes, we're going to be talking about that. We're going to be viewing a breakdown of the Nike Mind Slides. It's not from me because I damn sure ain't finna cutting on Nike Mind Slides in half. I ain't making that kind of money. But yes, we're going to be looking at a breakdown of the Nike Mind 001 slides. And then there's also the Mind 002 shoe. I don't know if they have a breakdown of that yet, but we're going to be looking at the RoseAnvil channel. And if you all are familiar with RoseAnvil, we'll be checking him out. He basically made his channel based off of, you know, breaking into the sneaker space and breaking down a lot of tennis shoe brands, calling them out on their BS and praising them for their actual good work and putting practicality into reality. So we're going to check that out in just a minute. But before we get into that, I want to show you all this really quickly on last night's live. If you all didn't check that out, it was a good time. Go ahead and check that out. I'll try to, you know, break that video down into separate videos so it's a little bit easier to digest. But for now, it's up if you want to look at it. But last night we talked about the Air Jordan 1 Union Fragment collab design, and we talked about all of the raffles that were available and things like that. I spoke to you all about Alma Manier not sending out any emails yet, and I wasn't too sure if the raffles were over or not for Alma Manier. I didn't really look after I took the L from Union, but here is Alma Manier's raffle. They closed their raffle 18 hours ago. So yesterday was the end of their raffle. So with yesterday being the end of their raffle, as you can see, it's for the white and blue pair for all intents and purposes. And the interesting thing about this is, before I, land that plane, the interesting thing about this is the white and blue pair is supposed to be the more limited pair, or the consensus going around sneaker social media is that the white and blue pair are the more limited pair, but there seem to be more raffles available for this one. So is this one more limited, or are the other ones more limited? I don't know. That's a good question. I'm starting to think that the white and blue pair are more readily available than the red and black pair. I don't know. You all chime in on that. What are your thoughts and opinions on that? Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button if you are new around here. The YouTube algorithms are starting to prioritize the likes and the thumbs ups. Well, that is the likes, but the likes and the comments over the actual views, which is really kind of weird. I don't know. They're heavily prioritizing engagement, so please engage with the channel and engage with the videos. Let me go ahead and remove that off the stage before we get into today's video. Let me share this one as well, so that you all will know what's going on as well. I did share. Let me see. Let me go ahead. Oh, okay, it's up on the screen. I did let you all know last night that Soul Play ATL was running a raffle for the white and blue pair as well for local people of Georgia. This is not an online opportunity. If you live in Georgia, you got to have the ID. They're going to be checking. So I'm on my year and Soul Play ATL. Hold on, I gotta sneeze for a second. Okay, it decided it wanted to be there, and now it decides it doesn't want to be there. But I'm on my year, and Soul Play ended their raffle 18 and 10 hours ago. So with that being said, Soul Play said that they were going to be sending out emails between today and around like 2 o'clock today. So expect the same thing from Amamanyer. Expect emails to be sent out. So if you entered for Amamanyer social status, and I believe APB, I think somebody mentioned last night in the live, expect to see emails for your raffle entries. And, you know, good luck to everybody. If you do not hit on these raffles and Jair as well, if you don't hit on any of those raffles, then your only other option is the Nike Sneakers app on the 27th, and that's going to be for the red and black pair and not for the white and blue pair. So good luck to everybody. I hope somebody out there gets an email. If you do hit from any of these tier 0 stores, put it down in the comment section below. Let me know. And then the next thing I wanted to tell you all about before we get into the RoseAnvil video and the breakdown of the Nike Mind Slides release is the Air Jordan 3 denims. Let's go ahead and check those out really quickly before we move on. Here we go. Screen share. Boom, like that. The raffle actually opened up today. So it is currently open, waiting for entries, and it will run until tomorrow, 23 hours and 25 minutes. So the retail price for these is $230. The dirty denim and the black pair for the Levi's website is currently open, so get your raffle entries in now. Don't wait. I have the link posted on my X account, Homegrown Kicks, so that you can easily find it along with sales, steals, and deals for some of your favorite pairs. So yeah, go ahead and check that out. Now, let's go ahead and get into the topic of today's video, which is the Nike Mind 001 slides, and see what the hype is about. So if you all aren't familiar, Nike came out with a pair of slides geared towards athletes. And let me go ahead and pull this up. Nike came out with a pair of slides specifically geared towards athletes. And, you know, anytime Nike does anything specifically geared towards a certain sector of sports, whether it be running or what have you, the sneaker community is going to turn them into casual shoes and 9 times out of 10 not use them properly for their intended purpose. But for all intents and purposes, these are for athletes. after they've had a long day of working out or a long game or whatever it is that they're doing, training, whatever, so on and so forth. These slides are supposed to bring comfort, stimulate the mind, and relax. You know, bring some kind of relaxation to the mind that brings relaxation to the body and allows the body to adjust properly after a hard day of workout or playing games. Now, the question is it all talk or is it science put into, you know, reality, practicality, reality, whatever, what have you? And as you can see, they're walking on a treadmill, different athletes doing different things. And this is the thought process behind the Nike Mind slides. It says the little things, the little nodules on the bottom, and let me go back to this video. The little nodules on the bottom of the shoe are supposed to hit pressure points in the bottom of the foot. And you know the whole thought process behind Chinese acupuncture and pressure points and things like that. If you don't, you know, I'll try to fill you in throughout this live, but they're supposed to stimulate the mind and have actual physical, positive physical effects on the body. And as you can see, these are supposedly how the nodules are supposed to be working. The nodules in motion down here, you know, you kind of get like a really interesting, pretty kind of cool X-ray view of the Nike Mind slides and things like that. How they are supposed to interact with the shape of the foot, so on and so forth. And then this is a video, and it's kind of going through like just a bunch of flashes and in my opinion, with this video, kind of like it's saying a lot, but not really saying anything. So I'm not gonna, you know, play the sound for it. And then they give you a bunch of like visuals that don't really mean anything at the end of the day in terms of what they're supposed to do. But I believe RoseAnvil actually plays the video. He gives his thoughts and opinions. And you know, they've got on the website Saquon Barkley, Erling Haaland, a soccer player, Eduardo Camavinga, a soccer player, and a couple of other athletes wearing them. Mindset wins the match before you even step on the pitch or the field or the ring. Claire Prince, runner, boxer, Nike trainer. Focus and mindset are everything in football. Erling Haaland, footballer, a soccer, what we call in America soccer. They said it's a mind-altering shoe. You have to be fully focused and disciplined all the time when you're playing. Shubman Gill, cricketer, he plays cricket. Okay, pretty cool. And then a bunch of other kind of, you know, sales things and sales points. But let's go ahead and get into this RoseAnvil video. I've seen the video. I've seen the video already, so that I could be better prepared and kind of, you know, give my thoughts and opinions. But let's go ahead and check out the video and see what RoseAnvil has to say. Let's see the breakdown of the shoe. And in case you are not familiar with RoseAnvil, you know, I take stock in the things that he says. I pretty much, you know, give credence to his advice, his views, his opinions, and things like that. He's got 1.1 million followers, so he's definitely doing something right, whether it's, you know, right or wrong. He's definitely doing something right. And as you can see, he's broken down tons of pairs of Nike shoes, Converse, Adidas, so on and so forth, Skechers, boots. His major thing was boots, leather work, and things like that. But yeah, let's go ahead and check out his video of the Nike Mind slides. I'm not going to play all 16 minutes of it. We're going to kind of skip through some of that, you know, to kind of keep the video from being extremely long. Let me go ahead and put my headphones on so I can hear what you all are hearing. And then give our thoughts and opinions about it. So let's go ahead and kind of see what RoseAnvil has to say about the Nike.
Our Dead Feb sale is happening right now. It's 20% off everything while we discount the products. So you can them out below. Essentially just being variations of Converses, just super these new technologies to the consumer. They tried naming the new tech, branding it, explaining it to the kings of the shoe that actually represented a they realized that visual tech would work just as well for casual shoe. New technology we saw come through the 90s. They pushed this to a point where it's not in those concepts to such an extreme extent. A pair of these to cut in half and run through our test to finally answer the questions about Nike's future, but specifically the shoe. First of all, what is it supposed to do? How does it work? Is it all just pseudoscience? How are these little nubs and balls attached? Is this shoe going to last longer than 50 miles?
Pseudoscience. So I don't know what pseudoscience is. So really quickly, I guess we're going to be learning something in this live, and y'all going to be learning something as well, because I need to know what pseudoscience is. And I think I'm spelling it right. Pseudoscience. Let's see. So it says, let me see, and I know y'all can see that. So it says the definition of pseudoscience is a collection of beliefs or practices mistakenly regarded as being based on scientific method. Interesting. Pseudoscience consists of statements, beliefs, or practices that claim to be scientific or factual, but are inherently incompatible with the scientific method. Okay. So y'all might be calling me an idiot during this live. I don't know. It is what it is, though. We've all got our views and opinions and our thoughts and beliefs, and it is what it is. So let's go ahead and check out this.
Our Dead Feb sale is happening right now. It's 20%.
I don't know why
hyped up gimmicks to
decided.
So then what is the shoe? Well, the brand is Nike. The style is the Mind Mule. They weigh 10 ounces. They retail for $95. Seems like a lot for a foam mule, but to me, it kind of depends on how this technology is applied and if there's anything really to it at all. These are made in Vietnam, and the way they position this product which is vital, which is really, really important.
Now, the crazy thing about these slides is they retail for $95 and they resell for about 100, almost 120%, higher than that, almost 200 to 300% above retail price, which is what really made me want to look at this video to see, is this slide really doing something, or is it just a bunch of bullshit? So right now, the slide goes for $95 retail, but because Nike did a limited run on these, and because of resellers, they are reselling, because you can't get them for retail right now. They are reselling for $230 to $300. And also another problematic thing with these slides is a lot of people are saying that they do not fit true to size. So if you wear a 9, they're telling you can go damn near 2 sizes up and be comfortable in these shoes to where they fit properly. If you wear a 10, they're talking about you can more than likely wear an 11 or a 12, but nobody would know because Nike didn't make enough pairs. So there are a lot of videos on how to size and things like that. I've been trying to get me a pair so that I can, let people know what's really going on. I'm a true to size 10. A lot of things I can wear size 10. I'm gonna gamble if I ever get a pair of these. I'm gonna gamble and get a size 10 and let y'all know the real. But yeah, the resale price, because I don't want to say value, whatever, I don't know how I want to put it, but the resale price really made me interested in this video. But a $95 slide reselling for $200, $300. Number one, is it really worth the $95, to be honest? So number two, is it really worth the resale value? If it's not worth the $95, then what are we doing, man? Let's go ahead and play the video.
Because they say some interesting things in here. They say, what if you could enhance your pregame routine with a mind-altering shoe? So already off the bat, a mind-altering shoe, already my suspicions are raised. Meet the Nike Mind. Its large outsole nodes push against your foot as you step, engaging sensory areas of the brain to help you stay present and connect with your surroundings.
Okay, so they're already saying that the properties of this Nike Mind Slide and the things that they do are supposed to improve your game. Now, how they're supposed to improve your game, it doesn't exactly say, but then it also says it's supposed to stimulate your mind and make you, in essence, more aware. I don't know. Let's check that out. I keep looking off to the side because I keep getting a ton of notifications, but let's check it out and see what RoseAnvil has to say.
Starting to feel like bull. This to me is where it starts to feel a lot more like foot zoning and like the foot acupuncture, where they're like, this little pressure on the bottom of your foot will heal your liver. This is connected to your cerebellum. Over here on the pad of your foot is this. Also, it's the bottom of your foot. To me, this is where I'm like, this feels a lot like Nike's leaning into pseudoscience. But also at the same time, it seems like they're doing what Nike's been really, really good at, where they're kind of implying that like, oh, it's important to have certain pressure on the bottom of your foot. It attaches to your brain. Well, your brain is always attached to every part of your body. And so they can kind of skirt around being a little pseudoscience-y, but they can still protect themselves by saying, well, no, there's a sensory input in the bottom of your foot that you feel in your brain. To me, it's sketchy. I'm surprised more.
Okay, so this is where RoseAnvil and myself may differ. And I'm pretty sure it doesn't really freaking matter because, you know, he has a lot more subscribers than me. But from my viewpoint, subscribers only means how many people are actually watching you. It does not mean that you 100% know what it is you're talking about. So pseudoscience is just basically anything that current modern day, I guess, westernized medicine does not believe in, which doesn't mean that it doesn't work. And the funny thing about medical science in general is medical science doesn't 100% like work either. Like Western medical science isn't 100% factual either, because if that were the case, you wouldn't have to do testing. You wouldn't have to do a lot of, you know, stays in the hospital and testing. A lot of times what it is they're giving you pills and things like that, hoping that it works. And the pills don't exactly always cure everything. And the pills a lot of times lead to other issues that they have to give you pills for to correct those other issues. And I know a lot of doctors or people that have gone to medical school are going to be really pissed about hearing that because they get really sensitive. I don't know why, but it is what it is, man. A lot of it is guessing and throwing shit to the wall and hoping it sticks. And then some of it is actually knowing and things like that. So just because Western modernized medicine doesn't 100% agree with it because they don't understand it and want to understand it, doesn't mean it doesn't work. Pressure points in the foot and all over the body. So we're going to act like pressure points don't exist and don't have a physical effect on your body. Like, what is it? Karate and Tai Chi and all of those different art forms where they use manipulation of the body to cause harm or to heal and things like that. We act like we've never seen that being put into practicality, where somebody grabs your hand and squeezes here and flips your wrist. They're actually hitting pressure points in the body. And it causes pain, and you can dull somebody's senses and you can stop them from feeling, you know, for all of my Star Trek people out there and things like that, you know, the Spock pinch and stuff like that, pinching nerves and things like that. That's not just bullshit. But because modern westernized medicine does not believe in it, it's considered pseudoscience. So, I mean, what's to like pressure points in the foot? You can actually press zones in the foot and they have effects on the body. So I don't, you know, that part is a little bit overly opinionated in my opinion. And these, at the end of the day, from me to him, it's just an opinion. But he kind of that raises the question. So do you, you know, we'll just
people don't call Nike out on this kind of stuff. And continuing on, because when it's anyone's game, winning is all in the mind. So now it's kind of like they're implying like this will help you do better. This is going to improve your performance because this connects your mind to your foot. And you know, they're not making overt claims, but they're implying it. Developed in Nike's mind science department, 22 nodes move up and down against your foot in a way that scientists
now connects your mind to your foot. I think now that I think is a bit of an over exaggeration or being a bit facetious, because the mind is already connected to the foot, and Nike is not saying that the slide is connecting the mind to the foot. Nike is more so saying that it's stimulating the foot or stimulating points in the foot and making the mind more active. I guess that's what they're saying. But let's keep going. I don't know, because he seems at this point early on in the video, and I don't know how many times he recorded this and how many times he had to, you know, go through the verbiage of the intro of the video, but it seems like at this point he's done it a couple of times and he's kind of annoyed. You know what I'm saying? But let's go ahead and continue.
Typically shows to activate sensory areas of your brain. Once again, if I take a knife and I push that at the bottom of your foot, you're gonna see activation in the sensory areas of your brain because I'm getting a sensory input in my body that connects to my brain, the sensory hub of the body. You see what I mean? It's shady. I just feel like.
Now that I do agree with. You're gonna touch points in your hand or on your foot, but Nike, I guess, is skating the line between you know, actual pressure points doing something versus the conductive sensors in your skin that, you know, let you know that send electrical pulses letting you know something is going on. I think Nike is skating that line between both of those things, sensory points and what is it, pressure points. That's because there's a difference. Pressure points and sensor points are two different things. So yeah, and he's kind of making fun of it, and I think he does that throughout the entire video. So take a little bit with a grain of salt. Don't let the emotion, you know, steer you one way or the other. Just listen in between all of that and take it for what it is.
Like, it's so shady. And there's so many Nike fans out there that defend every little thing that they do that I'm going to be interested to see what other people's and other influencers' opinion of this is.
Now, come on now. Now you're kind of attacking the sneaker culture. There are some stands out there, I will say that, but that's because of lack of knowledge. You come up across somebody that actually knows the real deal, what's going on, and they'll tell you. A lot of it is feeling based, and feelings vary from person to person. Everybody is different, but people are going to tell you across the board, it's based on your personal experience. We all know that Nike is not some kind of, you know, godsend for your feet. We know Nike is less on the actual we care about your feet tech side of things anymore, and more so on the advertising side of, you know, how can they make you think a certain way, or how can they make you want the product? But somewhere in the middle, Nike does implement tech, and, you know, they still are a bit techy. You know, it's a fine balance, but you all understand what I'm saying. You know, Yeah.
Because this just feels so much like 90s pseudoscience bull, and it's 2025. So that's the initial positioning. And if you do happen to want a pair of these, good luck, because we got to pay so much more to buy them on StockX. So let's check out the site. Let's see what's going on here. The American Podiatric Medical Association seal of acceptance signals this shoe helps promote good foot health. But once again, what does it even mean? Can you claim that if you have any kinds of shoes on, because it's going to protect you from the ground that you're walking on? That promotes good health. You know, like what do you mean? This is not more information. This is very
well. RoseAnvil, I don't know. I can't remember if you actually went to the website, but if you wanted to understand what that meant, it probably would have been better for you to actually go to the American Pediatric Medical Association's website or Google it and learn what they're about, learn what their criteria and qualifications were for it. Again, I don't know if you did that kind of research, but to ask that question in the video and then maybe you did check to see what their criteria is. But if you didn't, to ask that question and then not to, you know, figure that out is a little bit crazy. And I hope you didn't make the assumption of what it is, but you know, let's check it out.
Basic information. Where's the actual more information? Okay, here, let's look at the asterisks over here. Delivers. Okay, we got some data to back it up. Scientifically shown to activate sensory areas of the brain by stimulating anatomically mapped pressure points on the foot, helping athletes feel focused, calm.
Okay, so see, that's what I was saying. Nike is more so talking about pressure points than actual you know, sensory points in the skin, because this your skin is full of sensors that let you know. That's why you can feel when somebody touches your skin or something like that. Yeah. Versus, you know, they're talking about pressure points, but, you know.
I'm present.
Focus and mindset is everything in football.
The mindset wins the match.
Your mind leads you.
And that's the little ad that I showed you all earlier without the sound. And yeah, so y'all get the sound now.
Athletes all
First of all this like labs and science and scientific papers, but this is clearly like a marketing
world agree. Mindset is key
video.
in any sport.
Yeah, and that's why I didn't show it to you all, because I agree with him. That's more marketing than actually telling you anything. That's more so of the how can I make you want to buy this side, instead of actually, you know, letting you know what's going on. Because let's be honest, nowadays nobody really cares. Nobody really cares. They just say, oh, it looks cool. You tell me it's going to do something. I don't want to know the science behind how it's doing something or why it's doing something. Just sell it to me. And unfortunately, that's the space that we're in now, but it is what it is.
Introducing Nike's first mind-altering shoe, the Nike Mind 1. Other shoes dampen sensation.
Fake.
Mind 1
Fake.
amplifies it, utilizing 22 individually articulated nodes in the midsole. Nike Mind technology is scientifically shown to activate your
How?
senses via the thousands of sensory receptors underfoot.
Right? Okay.
Engaging your senses with Nike Mind can help you get out of your head, connect with your surroundings, and stay more present.
It's a gimmick.
Every game
It's a
routine.
sham for sure. This is
Nike
pseudoscience.
Mind 1, a mind-altering shoe.
Intentionally misleading pseudoscience, straight up. Okay, let's see what this fine print says. If it's more just marketing and branding. Side effects include, but are not limited to, clearing your mind, acting on instincts, a complete lapse of hesitation. Yeah, so
you all let me know, based on what you all heard, do you all think that that's the actual real deal, or is that a gimmick? True 54 said, hi, can you listen to and rate one Russian song? I don't know any Russian songs, but you know, maybe I could think about doing it. But do you all think that this is a gimmick, or you all think this is like the real deal? I don't know. I don't know. I think Nike has blurred the lines between sensory and actual pressure points, because the nodes on the bottom would suggest that they're trying to stimulate or activate pressure points. and then they're talking about sensory, like the sensors in up underneath your skin. So those are, like I said, two different points of conversation, but they all work in tandem. And I just don't know. Nike, I do agree with him that Nike is playing with the verbiage and is kind of like walking the line between the two, but the nodes would suggest that they're pushing pressure points in the foot to go ahead and, cause certain things to go on with the body. But because it seems like they don't exactly understand pressure points to the fullest, or because pressure points is not recognized in modern Western science, it's considered pseudoscience. They start to talk about the sensory, the surface level feel that you get. So like, let's say something brushes up against the bottom of your foot. Instead of them talking about making contact with points within the foot and doing something physically to your body, they're kind of skating the line of saying, okay, well, it's just like if something brushes up against the bottom of your foot, your sensors detect it, and then it tells your brain that something is touching the bottom of your foot. That I can agree with. That I can actually agree with.
I thought this was maybe their like case study or something. I just realized I lost 20 minutes of footage. So we're gonna do it again. But what I was doing,
we're not.
If you feel something on your feet, technically it happens in your brain too. And so we're stimulating that by touching the bottom of your foot. And so you'd think that there'd be some more information. Of your game and your focus, so that's what I was saying. And that, when it's like, so would touching the bottom of your foot do the same thing? So would having a bracelet do the same thing? So if we look all the way through this whole article, nothing but the same talking points over and over and over. If we look at this one, a mind-altering shoe. Activate your senses to enhance your pre-game routine. Once again, no actual data to say anything, but a huge claim of a mind-altering shoe. But that's the mind-altering shoe is not a firm enough claim to say, like, well, what are you actually claiming? It's a very loose claim, because you can say anything alters your brain. When you eat anything, your brain chemistry gets altered.
Yes.
You see something,
very true.
Chemistry gets altered. And so you're floating on the surface level science BS.
Right. Yeah. Now they definitely are floating or straddling the fence. They're being vague or neutral about what they're trying to convey or what they're trying to say that the shoe is actually doing. So I definitely will give him that. Whether I like the term or not, or whether I like the way he's delivering about pressure points and things like that, the fact of the matter is, in Western society, all of that stuff is considered pseudoscience. I can't argue with that. The only thing I can argue is, if you've seen pressure points being, the art of, pressure points and stuff like that being performed, if you've ever felt it, do you not think it's real, or, does it not have an actual effect on the body? For a long time, doctors wouldn't even consider chiropractic a actual form of medical science or a form of healing the body. Now doctors suggest acupuncture, and they will sometimes on occasion suggest going to a chiropractor. I don't know, or I'm not sure if chiropractic, the work or art of chiropractic is considered pseudoscience still. I'm not sure. I can't remember. But I've had conversations with my chiropractor about how tough it was for him to do that. I've heard the same conversation from many chiropractors, physical therapists, and things like that. So, I mean, it's a topic of conversation. And it's interesting that we're having this kind of conversation on a sneaker, fashion, and streetwear channel. But we're here now. We're here. And yeah, let's get into it.
To make you think and make you feel like there's something of actual value here, and there's science to back it up. But so far on all the sites, all the write-ups we've seen, even with all this, no science to back anything.
Yeah.
By buying a pair of slides that touch the bottom of your foot. Where's the data? There is claim benefits and the expected results that have no scientific backing. So in order to skirt around that,
now see, here's the okay.
That you like pseudoscience is illegal. You can't claim things that are untrue. You can't claim benefits and the.
Now see, those nodules is a big piece of silicone. But when you watch the breakdown and him cut the shoe in half, you'll see
results that have no.
That's weird.
No scientific backing. So in order to skirt around that, Nike's got a big enough legal department that they know exactly what they can and cannot say. And so they toe that line so perfectly, intentionally, to make you think these are actually beneficial to you, that there's going to actually cause some sort of change in your body or your mindset or whatever it happens to be. And so that's why you don't see any real world claims. That's why you don't see any data. Because
now, if you believe that it's working, then that's gonna technically change your mindset. If it reduces the impact from walking, therefore reducing the wear and tear and stress on your body, then that's technically body altering. Now, so I don't know. Those are two kind of bad points, because I could play the devil's advocate. I mean, I just did play the devil's advocate with that. And with that, I mean, technically it is doing something. And you could, claim science on that, but that's not what Nike is saying that these slides are doing. I mean, I guess that would just be obvious. But I don't know. Let's keep.
They could be sued over it, and they toe that line so perfectly that the average consumer, you got 22 micro penises, and
whoa,
how hard these nodules are to pull out.
Whoa!
I already know. You don't know though. Ooh, not that hard. What does the actual nodule look like? A micro penis. So really, you don't have 22 nodules underneath your foot. You got 22 micro penises. And was that hard to pull out? It was decently hard. I can talk through it, but it still takes some pressure to pull it out. You can see there's different nodules of different sizes, and they're just glued on to that insole material, because you can see right here where it's starting to pull through and stretch that material out. Is it a bad enough design that they're going to fall out as you start wearing them over and over and over? I don't think so, because it's not like you're going to be pulling on these.
Now, see, there's the crazy part. And I thought I heard something in the crib, but there's the crazy part. So the video from Nike showed a flat sheet of silicone with the nodules attached to it. But in practicality, these nodules are glued to the bottom of the shoe, and he could easily snatch them. Well, with a little bit of force, he could snatch them out. Not very much, but a little bit of force, he could snatch them out. So I don't know. But that whole micro thing that he said, that was wild. No matter how pissed off you are, that's wild.
Also gonna be pressure on them. And this version isn't a performance shoe. They have the sneaker version that I'd be really curious to see if they attach them the exact same way, because on a sneaker, I'd be way more concerned than on a mule. Because on a mule, you can kind of get away.
Maybe the sneakers have the full silicone sheet like they showed in the video.
With making it cheap, and you can literally just out. So now let's cut these in half and really find out the truth about Nike Mind.
And he never said how much he paid resale for those. And over the course of his channel, he's destroyed $156,000.
Okay, we got cut in half. And if you're not subscribed, consider pressing that little subscribe button, because a lot of the other people out there that like footwear and that review footwear do not want to talk poorly and talk bad about Nike, where we do. because someone's got to hold these brands accountable. Someone's got to tell you the actual truth of what they're doing. Is it science? Is it pseudoscience? Is this actually beneficial to you, or are they just trying to make it look like it's beneficial? Collaborations.
Let's go ahead and,
so now, is it pseudoscience? Is it a scam? Is it intentionally misleading?
Or the slide. Hey. So as you can see, they're just glued to that fabric, which is crazy. Oh, he wears a size 10. Oh, I wear a size 10 too. And they look like they fit him just fine with his socks on. So if I'm able to get a pair, I'm going to go true to size. And they are filthy. How long did he wear those? What the fudge?
So is there anything else on the inside? Nope, pretty straightforward. You know, there's no voids anywhere. This is just a rubber bumper and toe heel bumper to give you a little bit more wear protection. And that's pretty much it. Just very basic on the inside. These nodules are really just another piece of foam. You know, and keep in mind, I didn't expect much more than that. I was just curious if there was anything else in here. So then how does the Nike Mind actually work? It's pretty straightforward. These little nodules protrude a little bit further out of the outsole so that when you put pressure on it with each step, it pushes that up into the bottom of your foot. And that's it. And how are they attached? They're just glued on. You know, they're glued on pretty well, but you can definitely still rip them off. But are they going to fall off as you wear these? There's a chance of it, especially.
That's a little, well, no, that's not a little disappointing. That's a lot disappointing from my perspective because, okay. Like, I was hoping that the nodules would be longer than what they are, so that when you actually step down on the slide, that it actually pushes up into the foot, that it actually hits pressure points. That way it could pseudoscience-y do some kind of healing or release of tension within the muscles in the foot, something like that. But it's not. It's just basically rubbing the bottom of your foot. It's basically activating feel sensors and not, you know, pressure points, anything like that. Brantley Clip said that's not family friendly. Absolutely not. That's not family friendly. Like I said, he needs to relax and let some of the hatred go for Nike. I understand he's frustrated, but that's a little wild. That's a bit of a stretch to be throwing that out there. But yeah, seeing it broken down that way, that it's a little disappointing.
On the sneaker one, if they're built like this and the sneakers are just glued on like that, I wouldn't necessarily trust it. But keep in mind, they were glued on pretty well, and it's not like you're going to be pulling on these every time you take a step. But are these shoes going to actually last? I think they'll probably last as long as a pair of like.
And I would prefer the nodules have been actual solid pieces of rubber too, so that it would actually massage in between the muscles in the foot and actually break the tension of the muscles up. But with it being soft foam, it's useless. Well, I'll give my thoughts and opinions. I'll give my thoughts and opinions after the video. Let's get back into it.
Crocs, you know, that's kind of what they're compared to. I'm really curious about the sneakers because if they're built in the same way, I'd have some concerns about it. But how does this actually feel? You know, when we got them, everyone tried them on. It's kind of a unique feel. You do feel a little bit of pressure on the bottom of your foot, but for the most part, it's really sloppy because you're kind of gliding around on these balls and they slop side to side. So as you're walking, you kind of are like walking on ice. You don't have a firm footing because every step you take, those balls are moving around as you step like that. See, like every step you take, those balls are moving around. So it does feel interesting. It's nothing crazy. Like I thought for sure it was going to feel really intense, or you'd really be able to feel every single poking up in the bottom of your foot.
Right.
Really. And is this a gimmick? Is there anything real with this that would actually give you some performance boost, a mental boost, any of these boosts that they're claiming throughout all their marketing over and over and over? I don't think so. I don't think it's any different than if you pinch somebody or if you had a tight bracelet on or anything that just takes your attention out of your conscious thought and into your body. I think that's ultimately what this is. So ultimately, are these visual gimmicks that have really made Nike who they are they inherently bad? I don't think so. I think that's part of what people love about Nike is they push the limits. They take new technology and they try to figure out how they can fit it into their footwear. And a gimmick starts slipping into pseudoscience and false advertising when you start making false claims about the benefits of your product. Instead of just saying, oh, it's a cool product, it's kind of a cool little sensory feeling, it's going to give you this and that, when it literally does nothing. So to me, this is about as big of a pseudoscience flop as Nike's ever done, at least since I've been reviewing stuff. Even though I do like them, it just turns me off when they lie to their consumers. So Nike, I think you ought to back off of your false claims and your misleading advertising, because people actually trust your brand. And the more you do this, the more people realize that you're just making money off them. You're lying to them. You're shading the truth to get them to buy products that they don't need for a purpose that they think they do need. And that is unethical to me. So pseudoscience scam, I would not buy this.
Okay. So that was RoseAnvil's video on the Nike Mind Slides. Now, after watching that video, what are my thoughts and opinions? Again, like I said, I'm very disappointed in the product in general, because towards the end, like in the beginning, I wasn't on his side. He was being very facetious. He was being, a little, what's the word? Somebody help me out. But I was expecting for the nodules to be protruding a lot more. I was expecting for them to be rubber, so that, like I said in the beginning, that they actually are hitting pressure points and that they're actually doing something to help the body. To find out that they're not rubber, that they are basically glued in. They only kind of touch the foot so that you can feel something, so that the mind responds to the fact that they're feeling something. Yeah, this is more of a misleading prop than it is something to actually help the consumer. And for $95, it's for $95, it's not worth the $95. Basically, okay, so this is the Nike Calm Slide. Basically, it's a Nike Calm Slide with little nodules on the bottom. And the Nike Calm Slide, you can currently get this for $55. It's sitting everywhere. The Nike Calm Slide went through the same progression as most other slides. When they first dropped, everybody was talking about, they're going to be the next level of comfort for slides, and everybody had to have them. So they were immediately sold out and you really couldn't get them. You wait 3 or 4 months down the line. Now every colorway is available and they're sitting on the shelves and they're $55. People were paying crazy resale prices for them. I wasn't going to pay the crazy resale prices for them. But this Nike Mind Slide is basically a Calm Slide, and you're paying for the gimmick. You're paying an extra $40 for the visual gimmick and the story that they came up with. Resale is freaking ridiculous. $250, $230, $300 for a $95 slide that basically translate down to a $55 slide. It's crazy. People, do not pay resale. And I'm sorry to all of my resellers. Do not pay resale for these Nike Mind Slides. You're being fooled. You're being fooled. Everybody who paid resale for these, man.
And y'all dumbasses fell for it.
Y'all are literally falling for a gimmick when it comes to these Nike Mind Slides. Do not be a dumbass and fall for it. $230, $300 for a slide.
This shit is crazy as fuck, nigga.
It's crazy. It's crazy. Don't do it. Don't do it. And don't get mad at me. I'm trying to tell you something that somebody else should have told you. I'm just being brave enough to tell you that it is what it is, and it ain't what it ain't. My feelings were hurt. At the end of the day, man, the Nike Mind Slide is a failure. And if you paying,
What happened? Oh no! My God! Please! No!
I know y'all are hurt to hear that. I know y'all are going through.
No, 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 no. Wait. Wait.
But all of my Nike enthusiasts, if you paid $95 for the slide, you still paying too much, but at least you paid $95. If you paid $150, if you paid $230, $250, $300 for the Nike Mind Slide, you've been had. It is what it is. Now, like one of my close friends says, the Nike Mind Slide is comfortable. I don't doubt it's comfortable. I don't doubt that you're getting a different feel because the nodules are touching the bottom of your feet versus a regular just flat slide. But is it actually doing anything other than the Nike Comfort Slide, or is it doing anything more than this slide right here? No, it's not. It's not. I'm sorry to tell you. It's not doing anything more or anything less than that slide, and it is what it is. So, that is all I had for this. You all let me know what you think about the Nike Mind Slide video. That kind of reminds me, I need to box up a pair of shoes that I sold. And for anybody that is trying to get rid of shoes or anything like that, no, I'm not a reseller. Let's get that straight, because I know a lot of y'all are gonna, he's a fucking reseller. Yeah, excuse him. No, I'm not a reseller. But from time to time, there comes a point in life where you have no need for shoes anymore, or sometimes shoes don't work out. And for me, these shoes did not work out, so I don't need them. I paid resale for them. I think I paid like $10, $20, maybe $30 above retail for them. And I'm selling them for less than what I paid for them. They're unworn. They do not fit me, and I had to get rid of them. But I think I'm going to go ahead and box them up really quickly on live for the camera for my own purposes as well, so that I have something to record just in case they try to say something, off the wall or something crazy, because I had a terrible experience with GOAT. GOAT tried to say that I sent in a pair of shoes with the crushed box and all of that kind of crazy stuff. So I'm going to box up some shoes live and show you all the proper way to do it. The proper way to do it. Of course, always record yourself doing it. Boxing up shoes, that is, for all of the weirdos out there. Record yourself. That way, if any of these companies try to get scammy on you, you have some kind of protection for yourself in case you need to clap back. So, first and foremost, the first thing you're going to need is a shipping box. And I have a ton of shipping boxes because I bought a ton of shoes. I ain't going to show y'all that label. I'm going to get rid of the label. Let me get this label off of here too. And if you order a ton of shoes like me, whenever you need to ship something, it provides a convenience because you end up having a whole bunch of doggone boxes. And that's good enough. Yeah, that's good enough. So, empty box, sturdy box. I think this box might have came from Nike. And let me go ahead. Let me move this mic out of the way. Let me see if I can raise this camera a bit, or if I even need to raise the camera. Let me tilt the camera. And let me raise this right here. Yeah, I'll do that. Do it like that. and tilt the camera down. There we go. Now we got a good look at it. We got a look at it. Let me go ahead and get Mr. Anvil off the screen, and let's go full screen. All right. So, yeah, that. So if you all are trying to figure out what it is that I sold, let me go ahead and grab them. Here they are right here. The Nike Air Max 90 Big Bubbles. A really dope sneaker. Y'all can check that out. The presentation is crazy. Y'all know I'm a sucker for presentation. They got the holes right there to represent the air unit. My size, I don't know, will it show the label? It says 11.5. 11.5. That is a men's size 10. Yeah. There we go. 11.5 men's size 10. And then let's go ahead and take a look at the shoe. Now, I never did an unboxing for this, so this is kind of like an unboxing video as well. And look at it. A really dope shoe. And as you can see, I picked them up off of eBay. Very, very clean, unworn, all of that beautiful stuff. A really good shoe. And I was really excited to get them, but disappointed when they didn't work the way I thought they were. Let me see. Man, for the life of me. Let's see if I can get it. There we go. Really clean shoe. And I really wanted them to work out and things like that. And maybe in the future, I'll get another pair. But as of right now, I'm also trying to downsize a little bit of my collection. So we're not going to pick these up unless I can get them for a steal. Unless I can get them for like under retail, maybe. And I forgot what retail was. Let me see. Let me see if this shows what retail was on this box. Nah, it doesn't. It doesn't. But I think retail was somewhere around $150 something or something like that. Now, I'm gonna take these plastic bags, and I know y'all might be like, "Man, that's weird. That's cheap or whatever." I'm gonna take these plastic bags and line the box with them because for me, it's raining outside, and I scheduled a pickup for this, and I don't know if I'm going to be at home when it's time to come pick it up. Now, I know that's a little sketch, but I do have a Ring doorbell. So while I'm out, because I got to leave at like 12 o'clock. So while I'm out, I'll be able to view whether or not, somebody comes on my porch and picks up this package. So I'm going to put that in there. I got this stuff right here too. Bubble wrap. I'm gonna put this joint around the edges to protect the shoe so they can't say nothing when this shoe arrives to them. And on top of that, I'm gonna have all of this recorded. So that's even better. That's even better. Boom. That looks real good. So all of y'all take note, man. If y'all want to ship some shoes, let me see if I can get it down in there. That's my alarm letting me know it's 11:30. packing slip straight from eBay. That's my packing slip. I'm going to keep one for myself, a copy for myself. Always keep a copy of your packing slip. Do not just take the packing slip and put it in the box and don't have a copy of it. That is very important. So I'm going to put the packing slip in the box. I'm not going to show you all that because it's got addresses on it. And you know how y'all are. Y'all might try to intercept. Y'all like intercepting packages and stuff like that. And then we're going to tape it closed. Let me see. I got this tape right here. I love this tape. I bought this on Amazon. It prevents, well, it helps with anti-theft. It doesn't prevent it, but it helps with anti-theft. It lets people know that if the seal is broken, to check it. It also kind of, I'm not even going to lie. It deters people from actually opening the package. Well, it deters people from the shipping company from actually opening the package. It doesn't deter random people showing up on your property or stuff on like that. But yeah, y'all know. It's kind of like this. It's basically tamper-proof tape. I got it for a really good price. All right, so let's go ahead. Seal that up. And I'm glad to have this platform to be able to do this. This is so wonderful. And I appreciate you all. Let me go ahead. Rip that off to give it a good mating surface. Boom, just like that. Pull it nice and tight. Move that on the side to give it a good mating surface. Close those up, man. I hate when that happens. And we're gonna take that off. We'll take this off. And that's how y'all know this is live, man. My struggles are not playing. My struggles are not playing. Oh yeah. I almost forgot to put the plastic bag on top. Put the other plastic bag on top to keep the paper and the shoebox dry. And I know when they open this box up, they're gonna be like, "What the hell? This dude is crazy." Yeah, you'd be crazy too if you had people from these websites try and steal your stuff or insinuate that you weren't doing what you were supposed to do. All right, so I'm gonna press my body up against it. Boom, like that. Get a tight seal. Get a real tight seal on that bag. Just like that. Now I gotta cut this excess tape off of it. And I don't have never have what you need when you need it. Let me just yeah. Went next door and found some safety scissors. Safety first, everybody. So I'm gonna go ahead and leave that tamper-proof tape on the bottom. I think I'm gonna leave that down there. But because I peeled it down all the way like that, I'm gonna have to put some of my own temper tape on here as well. But like I said, that on the bottom. This bad boy over. Boom. Now, the next step is the actual label. Get your label. I'm not going to show you the label. Fold it in half like that because we're going to put it in one of these. I've got to get some more of these. These are like shipping label protectors. I got them from UPS. I think I don't know if I'm gonna buy some more or if I'm just gonna go back to UPS and grab some of these, but you know, it is what it is. Let me see, use my Google Lens to figure out what these are called. Shipping label pouches, okay. Shipping label pouches. All right, that's easy enough to figure out. So then what you do is you place the label inside the shipping label pouch. I'm going to cover up the fact that it's UPS because you know, FedEx is picking this up and I don't want them to feel disrespected. And you kind of, let me see, how do I avoid throwing this part? Whatever. I'll do it like that. You stick it to the box, and then I'm just going to take this back piece, pull this back piece up like that, because it's got an adhesive on it, and then you cover, I'm going to cover that like that, and then you stick it down like that, and you're good to go. What the world? And you're all set to go. You got your label ready, you got your box ready, and you just sit it out for pickup. That's what I'm going to do. My alarm went off a little bit earlier. It is currently let me drop this down. Boom. My shoulders giving me problems. I had shoulder surgery. But it is currently 11:40 Eastern Standard Time. Don't forget to fill out all of your raffles. Of course, the I'm on my year raffle for the Air Jordan 1 Fragment Highs is no longer open. Neither is the Soul Play raffle for the highs, no longer open. Good luck to everybody on that. What else? The Levi's Run Fair raffles are currently open. So if you all are interested in that, go ahead and check that out. $230, I believe, if I'm correct, is the retail for them right now. Follow me on all of my social media accounts. If you have not, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and join the family, join the channel. Shout out to Too Simple for the water bottle. 20% off on Amazon.com if you go to Too Simple and you type in the promo code JMogul. That's JAYMOGUL. It's been real fun. Catch the playback if you weren't part of the live. You got to turn those notifications on and tell me what you think of the video. And I will catch you all in the next one. I'll probably go live tomorrow morning. Well, not tomorrow morning, but maybe Friday morning with Manic Conversations. And we can just express our grievances there and then go live Friday night at 8 o'clock. So thank you to everyone who joined the stream. Thank you for all the love, support in the comments. Videos coming soon. New setups coming soon. And I'll catch you all later. Peace.